Hello and welcome to Inside Rugby. My name is Mark. I'm a Kiwi rugby fan living in beautiful Cancun in Mexico. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the clash in Pool D coming up tomorrow, Friday, in the Rugby World Cup between Argentina and Manu Samoa. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are a regular subscriber, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do me a favor and hit that subscription button if you think I earn it after this video. Well, it's a much anticipated clash for me, this one in Pool D, because I was really interested to see how both Argentina and Manu Samoa are going to be doing at this year's Rugby World Cup. And I think in some ways both teams have started off a little bit disappointingly. Of course, Argentina lost their first game to England and they really didn't play well, and I think Michael Cheika and the crew would have been very upset with the performance that Argentina put out on the park against England. On the flip side though, Manu Samoa had a good win against Chile, but of course this is against a smaller rugby playing nation and there wasn't really too much to test there. And I saw a lot of things in the Samoa team that need to be fixed for them to have a successful game against Argentina. But this one's going to be really interesting because Samoa could definitely beat Argentina. But is this the game that Argentina are going to get their mojo back in? We're going to have to wait and see for that. Now, there was a lot of anticipation coming into this year's Rugby World Cup about how the Pacific Nations teams were going to compare against the top teams in world rugby. We know there's been a lot of developments and changes with the Pacific Nations team, particularly around selection criteria, and I think it's fair to say that Fiji has probably come out on top as far as the progression of the rugby in those three playing nations that we see here at the Rugby World Cup. It's fair to say at this stage that Samoa and Tonga are not at the same level as Fiji. And there's still some of those old idiosyncrasies with Tonga and Samoa that still need to be cleaned out of their playing repertoire, and I'm talking about their laziness at times and also their skill execution, and I think that's going to be a big issue for Samoa in this game against Argentina. Now, depending on what Argentina team turns up, as we know, they can have teams that turn up and give the Springboks a hard time and beat the All Blacks. And then in other games, like they did against England, they were woeful. And I think Michael Cheika would have had these guys really pumped up at training this week to take on this Samoa team, because going into this Pool D clash, everything's on the line for Argentina. And if we have a look at the pool situation in Pool D at the moment, we can see that England are on top, followed by Samoa with their bonus point win over Chile. Then we have Japan, Argentina, and then Chile. So it's all to play for this weekend for Argentina, and they need to get their Rugby World Cup campaign back on track. For Samoa, now it starts, because that win against Chile was a lead-in game for them. I feel a bit of a warm-up game. They had to sit around and wait for 8 days before they played their first game in this year's Rugby World Cup. So they've had that game, they've had an opportunity to get the nerves out of their system and get into the rhythm of this year's tournament. Now it's going to be on the line, and they're going to have to really turn up and play an excellent game to beat this Argentina team. So let's have a look at both of the teams, and I'll just give my views on some of the selections, and you can tell me what you think in the comments as well. Always love to hear from my bros in Samoa, so please give us a shout out and let me know what you think about your team that's been selected for this game against Argentina, and let me know how you think they're going to go. Are they going to be able to step up and play for 80 minutes against this Argentinian team that can run hot and cold? Okay, let's get into the selections, and first of all, let's have a look at Argentina, and particularly in their backline. Okay, looking at the back three for Argentina, we have Melia, Boffelli and Carreras, and we didn't see these guys fire at all against England, and that was a really disappointing part of the game, because they do have some potential, these guys. Of course, Boffelli with his kicking as well adds that extra dimension, but we didn't see it in the England game. And Carreras on the wing can be dangerous at times if he gets enough ball, and has an opportunity in open space. So that's something I'm going to be looking for from these back three from Argentina in this game. Now in the centres for Argentina, Michael Cheika's made an interesting selection here. He's brought Moroni in at number 13 and got rid of Chenti to the bench. And Senti on the bench is going to be able to bring something on for Argentina, but what is Moroni going to be able to do as a part of the starting 15? That's going to be interesting. Chocobaris in at number 12, and while he's a good steady player, we haven't seen the best of him in this tournament as yet as well. And then moving into the halves, we have Santiago Carreras, of course, who really hasn't been playing great rugby of late. Of course, he got that yellow card in a previous game, and he really hasn't been at his super best. So I don't know whether he's actually in maybe carrying an injury or something, but let's hope he gets back to his best. And he's partnered up in this game with his debutant Bertranelli at halfback, so we'll see how those two go. Of course, both of them have a kicking game as well that can keep Samoa going backwards and on the defense, so expect to see that from Argentinian backline. So this is a good backline for Argentina. I just want to see them use the ball like they did in the Rugby Championship and get a little bit more confidence going into this Rugby World Cup, and I think we'll see a completely different team from Argentina if they're able to play that way. But I expect Samoa to be up in their faces and trying to be major disruptors, and I'm sure there's going to be some big hits on some of those backs for the Argentinians. Okay, let's have a look at the Argentinian forwards now and see who they're putting on the field to face the Samoan Bulldozers. So the back three for Argentina, we've got Gonzalez, Matera and Crema, and these are the solid back three for Argentina, all very good on the day. But once again, it's a case of who's going to turn up in this game tomorrow. It's going to be really interesting. I think Matera is a game winner at times. He's very good in the loose, so watch out for him getting a lot of good ball at breakdowns along with Gonzalez. And it's going to be interesting to see how these guys manage the line out. Are we going to see balls going to the back of the line out? If we are from Argentina, then these three are definitely going to be in the play. Also expect them to be up early on the Samoan inward backs and putting a lot of pressure on their inside centres. That's where this game could be won as well. If Samoa start to panic a bit and don't get fast ball out to their backs, then these three from the Argentinian back flankers are going to be the ones that cause that disruption. So a very good back three here for Argentina. So having a look at the locks for Argentina, we have Alemano and Pagadizabal, and two giant men here for Argentina, and surely they've got to be winning a lot of ball in the lineouts. But I want to see them working hard in the breakdowns as well, getting good body position and going out there and trying to disrupt these Samoans. So it's not only in the lineouts and the scrums where these two locks can have a big impact for Argentina. I think they can do a lot of work in the breakdown. Alemano is very good at that, and I've seen him playing very well in other games and making clear outs at breakdown time. So expect to see two big games from these two giant men at lock for Argentina. So the front row for Argentina, we have Gallo, Ballo and Montoya. So the standard three in the front row, a tough front three for Argentina. And if they're up to their normal scrummaging tactics, then they'll definitely put Samoa under some pressure. I think their technical ability at scrummaging might be better than Samoa's in this particular game. And they've also got Kiwi also to bring on his amazing over 100 international caps for Argentina coming in off the bench. So Argentina have a lot of ammunition to fire at this Samoan team in the forwards. So it's going to be a really interesting battle. So looking at the Argentinian reserve forwards for this game, and I just mentioned Kiwi, of course, he can be a game changer when he comes on. Cadello is another one that I'd watch coming in off the bench, as well as Bruni as well. Big boys sitting on the bench for Argentina who can make an impact in this game. It's going to be interesting to see when Michael Cheika uses these guys to make a difference if he needs to, if they're trying to even chase a game against Samoa. So a really great team for Argentina. I just hope they really come and play. And I think it's been one of their issues, hasn't it? Been over a number of years now, has been putting consistent games and performances together against the top teams. It's been the Achilles heel of Argentinian rugby. And let's face it, when they turn it on, they can be world beaters. But what team's going to turn up? That's going to be the interesting factor in this game for me. Okay, let's jump over to the Samoan side and have a look at the team they're putting out this weekend. And we start off in their backs, and their fullback Duncan Paiaia has had a really good game against Chile. I like the way that he played, and he brings a bit of speed into this back line. On the wings we have Nathan Wong and Ben Lam, and again, two guys that have got power and weight on the wings. It's going to be up to how much clean ball they get and how good they are under the high ball. So expect Argentina to test out this back three from Samoa with some very good strategic kicking, and that's where Santiago Carreras comes into the game for me. He's going to be putting these three at the back under some pressure for Samoa. Then moving into the centres for Samoa, we have Junior Sutini and Manu at number 12. Two good guys, two big guys, and they're going to have to be good on defence, because I'm going to see Argentina, or I think we're going to see Argentina running a lot at these guys, particularly from the back of their scrum and also from different angles coming in with their big loose trio. I think that's where these guys are going to be targeted. So let's see what happens. Manu and Sutuni in the centres for Samoa. And then looking at the halves for Samoa, we have Taumatini at halfback, the blonde locked Samoan halfback, and Christian Leofano at first five. Of course, used to play for the Wallabies. And these two guys are really critical for me against Argentina. They're going to have to really control what Samoa does with the ball. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Christian Leofano. I've seen him play a bit, and at times he can have some real shocking games. So it depends what form he's on in this game. Let's hope he has a good one for Samoa's sake. But Taumatini at halfback is a great player. He played a fantastic game, I thought, against Chile. He's very dynamic, he's fast around the ruck, he gets the ball out good, and he's got a good kicking game as well. So expect him to be really on form. And if he's having a good game, I can see this Samoan team going forward, and that will give them a lot of confidence. So there's the back line for Samoa. Pretty handy boys indeed, pretty big boys as well. And it'll be interesting around their execution. So keep a lookout for drop balls, bad passes behind their teammates, and getting under pressure in the high ball. Those are the things that you should look out for from this Samoan backline in this game against Argentina. So the reserve backs for Samoa in this one, Mataveo, fantastic player. He's going to make a real impact when he comes on. Luleo and Toala are the two other reserve backs for Samoa. So they've got big boys again to come off the bench. Mataveo can be a game changer, that's for sure. So it's going to be interesting to see when he's used in the Samoan attack. Okay, let's jump over to the Samoan forwards and have a look at who they're putting on the ground this weekend against Argentina. And we've got Stephen Luatua at number 8, and he's a fantastic player. He's going to cause problems for Argentina at the back. Let's see if he gets some line-out ball off the back of the line-out. That's something else that I'm expecting. And then his buddies in crime are going to be Fritz Lee and Theo McFarlane, on the flanks. And both of these guys, fantastic players. McFarlane had an awesome game in their first game and is a very good flanker. So again, three big guys at the back for Samoa, very mobile as well. They're going to get around the pitch hard, but watch out for their discipline, and I think this could be a big area of the Samoan game that causes them problems. If Argentina start to dominate in the forwards, then we're going to see some indiscretions from the Samoan team, unfortunately. So the locks for Samoa in this game is Vu and Alain Usi, and two big guys again. No need to say that Samoans don't have big guys, they have huge guys in the locking position. This is going to be a set piece of the play that's going to be very important. I think Argentina are going to finally dominate in this area over Samoa, and it's going to take a couple of different phases of the game. The first phase is, I think, in the technical area. I think Argentinian scrumming is going to be more technically proficient than what we see from Samoa. And then as Samoa gets more tired as the game goes on, I think we're going to see Argentina's scrum dominate even more. So expect the Argentinian scrum to dominate the Samoans over the course of the 80 minutes. Of course, Samoa are going to have their moments in this game when it comes to forwards and set pieces, but I think over the course of the 80 minutes, I think we're going to see Argentina be more technically astute when it comes to the set piece than what we see from. And then looking at the Samoan front row, we have Alo Emily, Lay and Lamb. Again, three big boys here, but I just think the Argentinian technical ability in the scrums is going to take its toll on Samoa throughout this game. I'll probably be proven wrong. Let's see what happens. But a huge pack there for Samoa, and that can be one of their downfalls as well, as they start to get a little bit lazy, a little bit slow, and they start getting beaten up a little bit in those technical areas by the Argentinians. Let's hope their discipline doesn't drop off, because that's where penalties will come and opportunities for Argentina either to get penalty kicks or to open up the play and to take Samoa on in the back line. Samoa have a huge bench, and I think this might be something that causes a bit of an impact for them during this game. Having a look at their forward bench, they have Malalo coming in, Charlie Falmanina, of course, who needs no introduction to World Rugby, Aloalatoa, Agassi Suti, and Tufua, Jordan Tufua, absolutely fantastic player. So they have some real power and some real experience to come off that bench from Samoa, and they're going to need it against this Argentinian team, particularly if the good Argentinian team turns up on the day. So those are the two squads in this game on Friday for Pool D, Argentina against Samoa. It's going to be a cracker game, that's for sure, and there's going to be some massive hits in this game. Take no prisoners, that's for sure. But I think Argentina are going to be too good for Samoa over the course of the 80 minutes. I think if the right Argentina team turns up, then I think their kicking ability through Santiago Carreras is going to be a telling factor as well. I think also they're going to be able to score tries against the Samoan team, because I don't think the Samoan team's going to be able to hold out for 80 minutes. Now, if the bad Argentina team turns up, then we can see a Manu Samoa win in this game, no doubt about it all. And I think if we see some tough fighting for the first 20 minutes of this game, where the play goes backwards and forwards and Manu Samoa get a little bit of momentum going on, then it's going to be game on, because I think the belief will start to grow in the Samoa team. The biggest fear I have for Samoa is around discipline, and also how they could fall away in the last 20 minutes of this game, just through sheer exhaustion. And this is one of the things that I think the Pacific Island teams need to continue to work on, is their high performance rate at this level against the top teams. And we might see them caught out in this particular area. And then one other thing I'll factor in this game will be goal kicking, and I think in Santiago Carreras, Argentina has an advantage. Christian Lealifano, I think, can be very sensitive with his goal kicking, and if it comes down to being a close game, then I'd rather put my emphasis behind Argentina than Samoa when it comes to goal kicking. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this game. It's going to be a great game in Pool D. Argentina really need to win to get themselves moving in this pool, otherwise they're going to be in serious danger. And it's also going to be interesting. A win here for Samoa could give them a lot of momentum in this Rugby World Cup. So let me know in the comments what you think of this game in Pool D. Tell me what you think if you're an Argentinian fan, a Samoan fan, or a neutral rugby fan who's just loving this Rugby World Cup. From what you've seen so far with Argentina against England and Samoa against Chile, what team do you think is going to turn up and do the job this weekend? Okay, that's it for me in this video. Enjoy the rugby, everybody, from the Rugby World Cup. It's absolutely fantastic. We've got another big round of games coming up this weekend. I'll be back in another video soon to do a preview of the game between Wales and Australia. That's going to be a cliffhanger also this weekend. So until then, take care of yourself, stay well, and I'll see you again really soon. Until then, bye for now.